So somebody just posted a comment about a trade they're in. They said they're short the Euro USD, and this is about maybe about 3 minutes ago. So let me just say something about the trading. I also had somebody ask me for what is a high probability trade? High probability trade. Well, probability of winning, I'm assuming he means. So let me see if I can answer both questions here. Now, if you're short the euro from the top there, I would have got out. Because on the 4-hour chart, we're sitting right at support. The buyers that come in here. Not to mention, be aware of the fact that anybody who's long this market because it isn't an uptrend on the 4-hour chart, that they put their stop here and you want to buy their stop off them. So this should be your target if you went short on a breakout strategy over this. This is this is 12 hours. Basically 12 hours of trap up here. And I said in the other video that once you get up in here, you want to sell. Once you're at new highs, you want to sell. Now that's a 20 pip window of risk if you're gonna, but if you can space your orders out and give them a nice spectrum, right? I also have sell limits up here. I put some sell pockets up here. 10Ks with a 30 pip stop to make 15. So if we pop up there, I think there'll be drama. And it could once we get to the highs there, at the double high we expect, not to mention it's a double high in the 4-hour chart perfectly, right? Double high and close. That's a double top. They call that a double top. And how do you play it, though? That's the critical thing. Do you sell at the market when it's up? Yeah, the trade plans that I run are, if it's down hard on the 4-hour, I'm buying. And if it's down hard on the 4-hour and I'm short, I'm getting fuck out. Okay? That is not, so the guy says he's got a target. I don't want people to misconstrue the vacuum concept of trading. The most critical vacuum is the last vacuum, right? You're only as good as your last failed relationship. This is what your thing is. You know, this is your threshold for stuff. Is what is your pip? Where's your stop? So if you don't have a script for a 40 pip move, then don't get in here, right? Because you need to put a 40. If you're going to long-term trade this, right? You're going to look at this landscape here. Now, so his target was he wants it to fill this void. Now that might happen, right? But if you sold up here, you go flat, then you drop down to the 1-hour chart and see that if this big smash down isn't just a pullback, and this, I guarantee you, more were sold higher price. This is an RSI setup. A big slam down like that, especially on a Friday when this thing's itching to hit 115, right? And you're really still in an uptrend. You could say, well, I broke the trend line here. Okay, but that's where you would have sold there, right? You break, you pull back, you fail, you swing into it. Right? That's, everybody knows this setup, right? I've seen this one a million times, right? This is all in the books. But nobody says, well, how big do I get in? Do I scalp the first 10? Yeah, you scalp the first 10, the first 20, the first 30 at the 40-yard line, right? So probability, I could have a 90% winning system and blow up the account. How's that? Well, I've got 300 pip stops, and I have a 10 pip take profit script. And I'm killing it, man. I never get stopped out. I make money all day long until that one day the market goes harry-carry and bye-bye. Just wiped out everything I made on my high probability trades. So high probability means nothing. I think he's talking about, and of course, when people ask that question, it's kind of a loaded question away. I mean, I'm loading it. I guess what I'm surmising they're aiming at is which show me a good entry technique, maybe, or show me the Holy Grail, but none of that exists. The Holy Grail is risk management. But that's the boring shit. Nobody wants to write a script. Nobody wants to write a trade plan. They want to break out a scanner. And I just keep thinking of the movie Scanners. The guy coming down the stairway, boom, head gone. So, do you really need a harmonic scanner? If you can see up and down, it's down, buy. It's down, bye. That's how I made all my money. I managed for George Soros now. So I didn't want to tell anybody that. Because, but, so here we are. Do we really think this is going to fill that void now? It's Friday. The news is coming out. Canadian news and all that stuff is coming out here. And dollar CAD is going through the floor. And the stock market, again, go back with the stock market here. Okay, so stocks fell through the floor yesterday. Took out yesterday's low, and they found resistance in the floor there, and a couple sellers came in. And right now, we're up kind of in a fair value from when the floor dropped down on the Dow Jones. You got to, I mean, I'm not going to say there's perfect inner correlations between these things, but now take a look at the trade that this guy is talking about. I just want people to get the wrong idea about the vacuum I'm looking to fill. The most recent vacuum is the most critical vacuum. From a swing trader standpoint, you're a swing trader, you're looking for that up, down, up, down. Now, when you short it up here in this back, this is the back vacuum of a larger uptrend. As long as it's going up, and I'm sure every moving average except for the 2000 period moving average or whatever the fuck, right? That would just be a flat line on fair value. When you get to that, you're fair value across the boards, right? And I got my little sell scalps up here. I want to see what happens here. So I'm margin. I'm at 67,000. I made 2,000 last night. I'm trading 3 currencies, mind you, but I can see what's going on, I hope. Right? I hope I can see up to down. It's perplexing that it's so simple. It's disturbingly simple. I just think the guy that claims the high IQ that can speak Japanese is totally befuddled by how crude and how barbaric trading really is. It just doesn't fit his paradigm. So yeah, you need a paradigm shift. Awesome, dude. Paradigm shift, yeah. So that's the problem with trading. It's not for people. Volatility is your friend, but you're really, so is the chaos here. Now we scalp notice the double script width you'll need here for this trade. If you go to the 4-hour, this stop hunt here, where you bought the stops off these retail goobers, was a 30 pip winner here. Well, here it was only a 20 pip winner. See, this is a monster move. The same strategy. The guy's asking me high probability setups. Let's just talk about high probability, because whether you win or lose is going to be your risk thing. And you can risk 30 pips to make 20. I wrote all these break evens. I got this risk 20 to make 10 right here. I'm placing it right at the ledge of where all the buying's going to come in. We already know there's stops in there. We just know, right? How do we know? Can you see the cleft here? Can you see the undercut? Right here is your buy limit bank, and here's your buy limit bank, right? Set it and forget it trading. Not to mention, you could have started buying here aggressively. You're buying at 20 pip window. Even with, even with first in, first out, if you're going to trade in the United States, you put your fucking buy limit in there. Okay, you're underwater. You can't get out of that top. You can't get out of that bottom ticket till you get out of the top ticket. Okay, I got that. Put the order bank in. I can still do it for people that want to trade at Orlando. How do you pronounce the fucking name? 51 leverage. That's a better platform than FXCM is the biggest fucking trash broker on the planet. Why? Because the nanny state crippled it. I guess it could have become good, right? But nanny state come in, tell you, oh, you can't just have people trade. Like, they need to be babysat, and they need to be put under some type of governmental protection system. Holy God, people. Why do you think Bitcoin's so expensive? People are like, hey, wait a minute, we're getting butt fucked. Yeah, duh. So, Bitcoin, talk about free market, makes forex look like, look at Bitcoin moves. Look at forex. So, I don't know if we're going to backfill this thing. I think we're going to 115. I think we're literally going to go up. There's going to be pullbacks, and you could counter trend trade it. And you keep selling new highs up into that. You really have to not get in heavy, though. You're not going to blow up the account. If you're unaware of, and I'm totally unaware of math, I can't even fucking add up, like, if it's not a round number, I'm lost. So I can't do, like, when I saw that decimal point when I was a kid, I go, we got a problem. You know, we got a problem here. Like, just give me the number. Well, but no, it's not that. It's like over here. It's like, how about two negative numbers times each other is a positive number? I said, I quit. I quit. How can two negatives multiplied be a positive number? Well, why don't I add it up and it becomes positive? Oh, no, it doesn't work in that instance. Okay, I got to go. So math is not my... So here's a big smash back here. So this is the big freak out moment. Now people are getting out. Why? You can see the volatility kick in. Why are people freaking out? Because you can see the drama in the 5-minute chart. You can see the drama in the 5-minute chart. So if you want to try the 5-minute chart, that's okay. But you could place an order bank and have a day job. I'm saying if you got a day job, you can trade the 4-hour chart. Put your sell limits up there last night, 10 pips above the high of the day. Right? 1-hour chart. A little more distracting, right? A lot more trades. So let's look back at the stairway to heaven and then the fall into hell here. Just take a little bit of a quick and dirty assessment of the story that got us to that, took out the high of the day last night, and then when Europe opened, go figure, they crushed it, right? So here's the vacuum I'm talking about, the most recent vacuum. If we can get half of that vacuum back to the top, become a bottom. The stairway to heaven was built on break out of a triangle. Tops become bottoms at an angle. It's moving so hard, the top bottom theory. And here is the deep pullback. Then another gust. Then baby top bottoms. Then uh-oh. Gee, I wonder if this vacuum here could have... I'm not saying it's not... We have to go with the... We want to make the pips the market's telling us to make. You have to change your trade. You have to have a trade plan that says, you know what? If by the end of the day on Thursday, they're just barely going up, maybe it's running out of momentum. Do you really need a momentum indicator? Does this, like, any child could look at this and go, gosh, Daddy, it looks like it's going up. And if you chop off the wicks, now here, if I turn off, imagine if I turned off the wicks, what would your assessment be of the market? Trend-based, price over time. You see those wicks in there, and then these ass clowns bring up the wick, the candlesticks, and they go, oh boy. They say stuff like, we have a pin bar. I'm like, okay, but do you have a trade for that pin bar? Like you're just, you know, it's like I said, it's like going to the bar, you know, and there's some hot chick there, and you're like, oh, but dude, go get her phone number then. Shut the fuck up. He's when I kill people at the bar, right? Okay, so this to me is like too fast of a drop. It's on sale this morning, and this is Friday, and it's kind of like over. And we may not take out the high of the day, but I'm going to get out here. My system tells me to get out and make 20 pips. If it just dropped 40 and I can make 20 on the dead cat bounce, yeah, deadcatbounceforex.com, right? You're just trying to make 20 pips with a 40 pip stop. That's the whole trade plan. And you just tell people, look at, when you see a top become a bottom, you want to draw a horizontal line there because it's a very important place to get in, right? This is the top closing in time. If you buy the wick, you're more aggressive. Not to say you didn't make money if you bought the wick. As it comes into, if you consider the top being the wick, but the closing prices is key because look how we retag here. Right at the 10-yard line. You're trying to make 100 pips. You're trying to make 10 pips, trying to make $100 on a standard lot. Can you place those orders? Can you place 100 orders? Like, it's going to slow you down too. If you place single drops, you'd be like, holy fuck, 58 orders and my hand's sore. You just put a 58K in. You can't, you don't have, I mean, who doesn't want to make $50 in the morning without even thinking about it? Put in your orders, you walk away. Everything's hard loaded. Now here I'm running just, most of these tickets are, people ask me, well, what's your risk? Okay, I'm risking 30 pips to make 15. Different entry levels, different entry prices. So we wait, still waiting for the news to come out. Let's see what happens. Come back here at in 11 minutes. Get news in 5 minutes here. I'm looking at the half-hour chart, euro dollar. They're breaking out here, and you can see we have our, just like yesterday's video, on closing prices, we have an uptrend confirmed back here. We actually touch it perfectly. So you could have hit the trigger right there on the half hour. There's only going to be 48 chances to blow up your account per day. This is your chance to sell as it's going down, right? A confirmed downtrend, right? It's going down, right? Lower lows. You ever heard that one? Lower lows. Just get the fuck in the market here. It's the top becoming a bottom. You got to sell them at here. And it comes back at you to bonus entry. Selling new highs in a downtrend, buying new lows in an uptrend. This is always, and here's the void. This is the new void, and if it only fills to here, this is where a lot of people are going to bail in 20 pips. News is coming out 5 minutes. It could go rocketing down. It could go to this greedy order target this guy built in at one. Just way down, way down. I mean, that void below us, like the current void is the most important void. Even on here. They just filled that. Now look at a pullback. So they trapped anybody that traded the breakout of that. The goobers will be right. If we go rocketing up, they'll scalp out and they can pad their account. We still have buy stops pending up here that haven't filled. We're looking at 4 and 6K. A couple 8Ks left behind. Delete themselves in 15 minutes. So you pick how long those are exposed, because that's the worst place to buy, right? We need to buy down here at the head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders. This is a guy upside down, shoulder, head, shoulder. And we just need, it's the concept of head and shoulders. It's like a triple top with a curve. Instead of being a flat double bottom, that's all it is. There's nothing complicated. This was where the sellers came in, and they pulled it back to here. So we get up, down, we have kind of an accumulation node down here. Half hour story is very simple. This goes on over and over again in the markets, but the problem is it doesn't happen in the same pip range that your script might, or your trade plan might be built around. Because if this was the guppy, that might be 20 pips up, 40 pips down, 25 pips up. I mean, you can't even imagine. And if you're going to go from trading the euro to the guppy, look out, right? Unless your trade plan can adjust. And if you're going to do the percentage thing and trade one ticket, you're going to get clobbered. You could be like, oh yeah, I'm basing on 2% of my account, and I'm going to go trade the guppy. Really? Think about that. Well, I built a car that goes, yeah, but you're in the woods. You need a motorcycle, dude. You're going to hit trees. How could you possibly export that concept and go plugging it in without regard to the territory? There's a difference between a birch tree and a sequoia, I think. Typically. Okay, here's the moment of truth. News for Canada, I think, in the light U.S. news in 1 minute. We're either going to pop up and slam through the high of the week, or we're going to hell. And then this guy will be right. There's more vacuum below us. That's the question. What's more important, the vacuum below us or the vacuum above us? Okay, big pullback here. Spreads are going to get psychotic. Let's take a look at the pound. I think they could crush the pound, so I put buy limit scalp banks down there. We got 4 hours. You got 1 hour. Let's go to the 4-hour chart here. We're looking at we're in the euro. They pulled it back to the breakout point on closing. And here comes the news in 20 seconds. Spreads will get really, there we go, big pullback, right? Big pullback. We're still in it. I think we picked up some buy limits, maybe. No, I did put a, see the arrows showing me that's kind of like my trading journal. Okay, 5 seconds to news. Have some sells on the euro. Okay, news is out. Can we make it to 114.50? Almost hit it last night. Euro dollar. That means that the dollar yen might go through the floor. Okay, looks like going up hard. And this would be quick and dirty, right? That's how she likes it. Quick and dirty. Don't fall in love with me. Okay. I remember this. I was on a dating site once, and this chick had this thing that said, she looked like she could beat me up, and she said, hey, don't get clingy. You know, like, I hope you got your own life. I'm like, oh boy. Overshoot the runway there from having a nagging wife. You're like, whoa, that's okay. Sure. Whatever you say. Okay, we're looking for this thing to rock it up and take our money. It's 1 minute, the news has been out. Now they could slam it back, right? But we scalped out already. We've already taken money off the table. So we're up like $2,000. Waiting for a fill possibly on the plunge here. Here's a break even, 10K, 20 pip stops. Just down there. Okay, big pullback. Sellers came in. So look at the sellers come in at the 10-yard line. This previous bottom. Now, can we engulf, right? Can we engulf? Blow out, and this would just be, you know, not to mention the stocks. What are they doing? Now, this could be the turning point. The stocks could just say, bye-bye, we're going down again. This would be like the fair value sell point for stocks. But I wouldn't recommend trying to trade stocks and the forex at the same time because you get vertigo. You know, I would. I'm going to trade one instrument at a time and play the shit out of it. I'm only doing this demonstration to show you that you could trade all these currencies with these scripts, right? I'm compromising my profits, but I do have this take all profits per. So I'm going to try to run this nanny state broker actually out of Japan, out of Hong Kong. I'm just going to call it Orlando. I don't know what the fuck to call it. FXCM, just brutal. Just FXCM did the weirdest thing, so I emailed him. I said, why did you rewrite all my take profits to a certain level? There was some kind of auto thing inside their platform automatically trying to assist me. So every new order I put in with a script, it rewrote everything, moved to a unified, and they talked about this years ago. Apparently they got it running. So they do a unified stop. I guess this gets rid of that first in, first out problem. They're going to bring you all up. They're going to bring you right to a threshold where every order on your platform is sitting at the last known execution entry. And this way it's a unison exit. I'm assuming that's the workaround. Okay, we're still waiting for follow through. Now they've trapped, they've hit, people took their 20 pips. Don't forget, the guy that bought down here, he's already out. He took his 20 pips and ran right there. Shitting, you know, you take that hammer and you hit the thing and it gets hit the bell. So you're out. And then, do you reload on pullbacks on the 5 minute or on the 15? Well, I guess you could, right? This is your only chance to buy. So we have a breakout, pullback. You got to be sitting here babysitting this 5 minute chart. All right, 10-yard line, breakout, 10 pips up, rips up, comes back. Now, are you quick enough? Are you nimble enough? You have your hotkeys sitting there, and you go buy, cash out, buy, sell, buy, cash out. If you got the keys in front of you, man, and you're just doing 8Ks, right? Boom, bam, boom, build a position over the next 40 seconds, dump it. You can just trade it from the long side. It doesn't matter whether you sell or buy. It's what time frame are you selling and buying on. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. 5 minutes has gone by. People that are sitting that trade the 5 minute chart, they pulled the trigger on that 5 minute pullback. They're in. They're riding it. Plus we have a double top. Look how this thing respects 10 pips instead of respect. It has no respect for Fibonacci, but look how the 10 pip linear, you know, if you want something linear, want something that's gridded out so you don't have to think about it. The price grid, right? Now you're shopping price. Sure, you can see all the patterns and you could probably get out your Gartley right now, but it's all going to be like, hey, if you got a 20 pip stop and you didn't get out or something, right? And they're crushing you. Like if you didn't get out here and take something off the table, now you're like, holy shit, is this thing going to go up? What else could your thought process possibly be if you're in a $1 million position right now and you're like, fuck, taking like $500 off that day. If your targets are preset with one button's 38K, it buys at the market on 5K lots, and it's going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are your targets. I could write that key. I could run it in here. There's enough money in the account to trade like that now. You know, once you have enough money, you can express yourself. You can hire a crew and make your own fucking 3-hour movie and bore people to death if you want. There's no end to what is possible. Here, we'll come back to trendline. Should I buy? Well, not if you're in a $1 million position. You're going to add here? Are you fucking mind? Right. So this is what people say. Well, I can't. Of course, you've gone beyond your margin rules for the day. That's all you need is a margin rule. How much margin am I going to use today? How tight am I going to run my stops? Am I happy making 10 pips, or do I want to make 20 pips? It's very simple. 20 pips is double the amount of profit than 10 pips with the same sizing, right? So obviously that's critical. And you could have made 10 pips up, 10 pips down. I mean, come on. Look how easy these... I don't want to just make 10 pips with it. Okay, it's a lot of work, right? Nobody likes work. Give me an EA. Show me... See, but people are... That's how people are, though, right? They're say, hey, you know, show me how... Oh, yeah, I guess, but are you up for the punishment, really? Are you up for the bad spreads? Like, you really worried about the spread? You don't even have a trade plan. Let's suppose if you're worried about the spread and you're like, oh, you know, is spread this, spread that. Okay, dude, if it's a 200 pip move and it's a 10 pip spread. I mean, I remember the beginning, when 8 years ago, the spreads were like, oh, man, like 3 pips. Fixed. They still have those brokers out there. There's nothing wrong with that broker. There's no shoddy brokers. There's just people, dude. These people that are like, you know, there's 400 brokers on the planet, man. You know, if you know how to play guitar and all of a sudden they put like a wattage, everybody wants high leverage, but what if they had a wattage thing? You're only allowed a 10 watt amp. Yeah, new government rules. People have been blowing their ears out. Would you... Right? You just put on headphones, right? There's a workaround. You put headphones on, you run your 10 watt amp in your headphones. Like, I want deaf anyways. Fuck the government. But, I don't know. Right? I got this fucknut commenting on my site and just having this most, you know, convoluted. Okay, convolution, I can handle in the market because I make money from it, but convoluted sentences, when people start posting shit, they're like, well, you know, I'd really do that, but they just sound like a victimhood loser, a millennial. You know, they got to ask mom, can he bring down another beer into the basement? Asking stuff like, and then saying stuff like, well, I don't want, you know, it's a bad time zone for me to trade. You'd really hire somebody like that to work for your firm? You know, I'm over here managing George Soros's accounts, and I'm like, this guy's coming on my YouTube channel and saying stuff like, well, you know, yeah, I can't get up that early. Well, you're not a forex trader. You know, the forex trader realizes what is his time zone he trades and how tight is your stops going to run. So I don't think the guy trades forex, but he's claiming he does, and then he says, well, he's bitching about the spread, but then he claims he can't get any good leverage, and then he claims he doesn't live in the U.S., so he can't get good leverage. Then he claims... and then I make this mistake about where the time zone he lives, because the guy's playing this like hide the salami game or something. And the problem is I'm not gay, so it's a big fucking problem. I don't want to play hide the salami. Just come out and say what you need to say, dude. Fucking I'd rather have Hitler tell me I'm going to the camps. I'd rather have the guy that said, I want T-Note Trader to come back. Right? This guy can't, at least if you're gonna fucking troll my YouTube channel, at least fucking have a goddamn sentence that doesn't have typos in it. You know, break out a keyboard, man. Run spell check. I think there's even spell check running behind it. I mean, I've seen, if you're on Chrome, I think it's just coming in behind you. Like red alert, you look like a moron. So I don't know what the fuck's up with people. Of course, this is what happens when you have too many people watching your stuff, right? And then people say dumb shit like, well, why don't you, I'm like, dude, why don't you? Let me see your trades. If you think I'm doing it wrong, put your fucking channel up. You record. Oh, I never trade demos, you know. Okay. You don't trade demos because you don't trade. You don't play guitar. You don't practice. Hey, you could probably sing okay, but you go do voice exercises every day when it's not a fucking song. It's called execution is a skill. Not thinking about the trade, hitting the fucking button. That's a skill set, man. So people want to be snipers. Yeah, is your gun loaded? Do you have 5 guns? I mean, I like these snipers that got 1 fucking gun. Well, it's a standard lock gun, and what we see right here, I always put it at 4-pip stop. Okay, really? Okay, well, I'm not up for that much of bitch slapping. I don't want to walk out of a party and they go, why is your face all red? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to finally pick that girl up that says yes. But, you know, I'm up for fucking face slapping all day long. I'm using this cliche line like, what's your sign? They're like, yeah, what's your astrological sign? Hey, we get started on that, right? The sociopathic pickup line. I would say, tell me about your family. Are they fucking gonna? Am I gonna be? If I marry you, am I gonna want to kill my mother-in-law? Right. That's my. I should go on to Match.com and sign up. My profile would say something like, "Would you be willing to, if your mother-in-law gets a lot out of control, could we just agree up front we're both gonna kill her simultaneously so we could share the guilt?" So that's a buzzkill. Having family. I had my buddy that killed himself. He used to go to the museum to pick up chicks. He liked large breasts, so he'd go to a museum. And I thought, God, I never thought of that technique. Yeah, he's like, yeah, check out that artwork. He gets in these people's heads. Next thing you know, he's banging them in some fucking hotel. I'm like, dude, man. And I'm like, what a slut. What a ridiculous. I mean, that is really, man. It's almost like he's, forget manipulating the gold market. This guy, he had some serious games. So, what can you say, right? Somebody's got to do it, right? These women, they're lonely. So they just stop hunted. You see, they just stop hunted. So I can just sit back. I'm in a position, but I'm not going to sweat it too hard. See, they just stop hunted this guy. So if you're willing to pull the trigger right there and sniper that, but you couldn't have snipered that with, what, you're going to buy $1 million position there? As soon as it goes up 5 pips, I'd be getting out. If I just made $500, I'd be getting out. I made $300, I'd be getting out. Because I could just do the same trade in the next 20. But obviously, if you're really a scalper and really a sniper, buy, sell, buy, sell. You're not waiting for a flag set up on the 15. Right? I mean, you are literally in, out, here, pull the trigger, dump, buy, sell, buy, sell. Only the fucking European ambulance. When I first heard that, I thought, well, there you go. That's really distracting. It's not like, I mean, what is with the American siren? Who came up? One day, this guy shows up with a fucking electronic oscillating horn, and he goes, and some guy at the cop's shop says, that's it. That is definitely disturbing. Where the British is kind of like, hey there, hey there. It's kind of like, by the way, could you get out of my way? It's a very polite siren, don't you think? The British, like, it's just kind of like nodding the head back and forth. It's binary. Whereas the siren, you're caught in a whirlpool of torture sonically. We got the sirens here now. They've updated to the point where they go through a cycle and then they go into a strobe cycle. I'm like, really? So people got used to the siren. They're like, yeah, I'm just going to keep driving my car. Now, next thing they're going to have the like an Auga horn, or they'll have the train horn. A guy in town here has a train horn on his car. Let me tell you something. When somebody blows a train horn next to you, you're looking for the tracks. You're just okay. So the news came out. I don't know what it was, but apparently here comes the trend traders on the 5-minute chart there. So if you're a swing trader, You're in, you're aware of the fact of the trend traders are going, looks like a good place to get in. Now here's where the goobers start to get in. They're like, yeah, let's calm down a little bit. I kind of like the setup. Yeah, top bottom there. And got a triangle and trade breakout. But now they can smash right through the floor, and people are like, that setup sucks. That's not high probability trade. But high probability trade means getting the fuck out with that. You got that 1,000 pip stop with that 5 pip target, and you're always making money all day till that one day. So probability of winning, it's different than a high probability setup. It's a totally different view. Coming back again to stop these people. So the guy that trades really big, he already got out. He bought that new wick and he got out. So you can see these people trading. It's like, well, what guy are you? Are you just still holding in a small position from that very low thing saying, boy, I hope these scalpers come in and start buying it in again, right? And you're counting on these other people to come in. Listen to Mark Douglas. You're counting on other traders to make you a winner. So you need the big high frequency guys to come in here with their algorithms. There's nothing special. This guy that was telling me I was insane. You know, the funny thing is, you go to his thing, he tells you how, like, well, these guys are working in these rooms, and they got computers like you wouldn't believe, and they're smartest people. You're trading against the smartest people in the world. This is the biggest fucking victimhood loser myth I've ever heard in my life. You can see right here what's going on, right? So if you think this is going to rally, when stocks open, you think the euro dollar is going to go up, 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 and finally make it through the high of the week and just go stampeding to one and just fill that northern vacuum that I think's still filling. And we just filled this one. So this was the easy high probability trade here, was to get the fuck out at this low on the 5-minute and just trade that vacuum. So the most recent vacuum is the one that you're focusing on, because you have to trade the market as it unfolds in front of you. You cannot trade the left side of the chart. Who has two fucking triangles, two Gartleys on the left side of their chart, and they're making a supposition on the daily time frames with those fucking triangles, and then they go, let's go to the trading time frame, 1 hour chart. Let's find a place to get in. I'm like, dude, why don't you just find a place to get in? Okay? As long as you're not, like, sure, have a monthly chart and look back 5 months if it helps you, but you know that you're in the middle of the year. Now, just go to the 1 hour chart, and you can scalp that with confidence, because you can trade that with confidence, knowing that you're not going into historical prices. When the British pound is on the verge of going through the floor, if a currency goes where it's never gone before, which is going to happen in the next 5 years, for every currency will probably go where it's never gone before, and people like, can't fucking believe it, right? Gold's at 500 or gold's at 3,000, people are like, I can't fucking believe it, right? So when we get into that territory, it's not going to matter. In other words, that prediction of you guessing that, oh, that was the perfect thing, and then you look back and go, oh, geez, man, I should. Okay, but you couldn't, because you couldn't have rode a big position on that big a move. In fact, if you were up $3 million and you were risking $10,000, you're up $3 million in one trade, you'd have to ask yourself, should I get out of this trade? Your first trade you've ever placed in your life, should I get out of this trade? I think they're punishing the euro here. I mean the pound. So the pound's coming down into my fills. I'm buying new lows on the pound. Now I could have shorted that on the 1 hour, right? I would have, if I would have shorted on the 1 hour. Can you see the trade? Can you see why it bounced up? You would sell every hour it's up. Every hour it's up in the pound, you have to run a wider stop here. It's a downtrend, right? Every hour it's down in an uptrend, you buy. You buy every red candle in an uptrend, you sell every green candle in a downtrend. Right on close. When that color's done, you sell. That's how you trade. You buy pullbacks or pull-ups, whatever you want to call them, and that's it. Well, how much more simple could it be? Okay, we're gonna wait. Come back to this thing. We gotta wait another 40 minutes for the stocks to open. Let's see how the stocks are looking. Well, they're looking scary. Like, if we start to just curl down here and this top bottom doesn't kick in, don't forget, this is supposed to be the top because the bottom on the stocks. If that doesn't happen, we start going down the tubes. Look at the weekly. So see that scalp on the top there? It looks like a scalp now. Shit, put the wrong here. It looks like a scalp up here, where you just had to get the hell out here at the closing price of last week. That would be your target if you're trying to scalp the wick. Scalp the wick on the weekly, your target would, you're out of the trade already. But you got to scalp the wick in the other direction last night also. And you can see on a daily why you would do that, because you see this high here on the stock market. You had a buy limit sitting here, and you had buy limits starting on this wick. So you bought all the way down into this other one, which you never got filled, but that's how much risk you put on it. Then you put in a trade plan fitting that zone. Whether it's but you can do that. You can do that at any broker. Any broker on the planet, regardless of, just put more money in the account. That's all. I knew a guy, I talked to a guy that was trading, like, I swear to God, like 10-to-1 leverage. He just had a ton of money in there. And he just traded manually. So you don't have to do what I'm doing, right? It's not for everybody, all this button pushing. It's not for everybody, it's not for anybody. So breaking this trend line here. So maybe go to cascading down. Coming in my limits, though. And here's the 15-minute smash down here. Buying the double bottom. Here is a rally. We're selling into this rally on the yen. Coming up into my sell bank, so I'm going to put some more up there. There was another opportunity to buy again here. See this new low? Just by 1/10 of a pip down here. People are buying that. They think this is a trend line. They think that this is going to attempt to go up another and retest this wick and maybe even blow it out. So I can put my buy stops in right now, or I can buy at the market. We don't know if that's going to happen, but we're just going to make that guess. Now, we're kind of cut into the top bottom. People say, well, it's not a perfect top bottom. Okay, this is where people kind of get it wrong. You want to cheat on top bottom theory here. Top become a bottom. It's even a better setup, right? 1, 2. This is a momentum rollover. Breakout, pull back to the momentum. We broke out of the triangle if you consider this to be the triangle. The only triangle you're worried about is the last known triangle on the planet was this one right here. So if it makes you feel better, go up here and go customize, find the triangle. Give me that Gartley triangle. So you hand build your own Gartley triangle. Another thing, if you are doing Gartley, for God's sakes, dude, don't let the scanner do it for you. Never let a computer do what you can do better. Anything the computer can do, I can do better. So this is the triangle, right? Here's your Gartley. Or here's your one bat wing. It's got a broken wing. So there you go. The beat of black wings. There we go. So anyways, I can't fucking manipulate the thing now. I'll put another one on top. Here, I'll do the Gartley. Look at this. Double-winged cougar. Wait. Shit, I fucked that up. Wait. Let me delete all objects. Redo. Okay, so here. So it's like this, right? Bing, bing. There you go. There's your Gartley. So, and the apex of the breakout of the triangle, right? Very clearly delineated. Now I want to manipulate it, but I can't. Because I want to have the triangle touch the closings. I fucked that up. But you see, I'm put a frame on it. How about a bat with a frame? There you go, Jethro. That's the patterns I'm talking about. Top of the hour. I like it. So, sellers are coming in. They trapped here. Every breakout's a fake out. Don't forget, every breakout's a fake out. Every one. Assume every breakout's a fake out. Breakout. Wah, wah, wah. Breakout. Oh, they trapped him. And this void, so it's void to void, trap to trap. That void's filled. It backs up. That's why the market goes up and down. People say, well, you don't even know how why the... Yeah. these are mini auctions. They're nano auctions inside of a micro auction, inside of a mini auction, inside of a standard lot auction. That's the fractal theory. If we had a 6-second chart, you'd say, man, I want to be a 6-second chart trader. Yeah, of course. Look at that. There's your trend. Trend's your friend on the 1 minute, isn't it? Look at my Gartley comes and called that my manual scanner. Look, Jake, my manual scanner gave me an entry here. Uh-oh, looks like I'm losing. See, now, if you didn't take your 5 pips and run, they're crushing you now. Look at, I'm getting crushed here on, the pound's making money for me, so, right? So this was a good idea to buy low, right? Just don't, like, you can't put in too many tickets. Here, you bought this vacuum fill here on that wick. Now I'm getting, I don't know if I got filled on this guy, but if I put a sell bank up here, I got filled on these top tickets, see? Oh, no, it didn't make it. See, it didn't make it there. I had to put a narrower, see, you have to go for a narrower bank. Now, if you go to, you're going to get in a, say, a 3-pip range up here. You would have dropped this just above those wicks, and you'd be up on that trade if you filled a 10-pip window there. So on the same token, I can put an order bank right down here on that wick and scalp that wick and have different targets. I can have a hard 20-pip stop at running everything, and then I can have stuff that gets out 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up. And that's in your palette here, right? You're an artist. You're placing orders like an artist. So here, 20 pips to make 10, but it's going to be down here. Okay, we have a pullback here. We've got a top bottom on the 1 minute. Double top just became a bottom on the 1 minute. If you're a 1 minute trader, that was your entry. Now we got to start shearing out all those prices above us. We got to take out the 142.20. We got to take, we take like a zipper, domino theory now. Otherwise, forget it. And stock's going to open up. The top of the hour is coming here. Let's go to the 15-minute charts. Go to the half-hour charts, because the half-hour updates now. And here's the 1 hour update. There's our Gartley. We're inside that. And inside the Devil's Triangle. Oh, this is a Bermuda Triangle trade. I'm sorry, guys. This is, if you go to the website, BermudaTriangleTrader.com. That's it. Sorry. Don't forget to unsubscribe. Now we've got to lunge above this wick. We don't have a trend here, but we have a trend on the 30-minute chart. That's what we based our broken wing off of. Okay, and here's the break trend line pullback. That's that setup. As the market goes down, which is the trend line we were looking to break today on the half-hour chart. So half-hour chart, look, if you're a day trader, half-hour chart, it's very hard to blow up the account. You take everything you see. We broke here, but we actually broke the. You've only got 4 mountain peaks to draw this on. You could tell a person, look at, draw this on the peaks. There's the first trend line break right here on close. Boom. But you were buying into that anyways because you were a psycho trader. You just kept buying down here. You were buying here for a different reason. And everybody's getting in for a different reason. And you can see, well, the market goes sideways. The aha moment occurs to people. Plus, the trend traders come in when it calms down. This is when they get in. The big boys have crashed the market up and down, and people go, okay, let's get in. But you don't have to be that guy all the time. You could be the guy that's the limit order market maker, and you can get into the goober trade. The classic retail, the pattern must work, but the problem is if your stop's too tight, you will not survive a trend. Trend trading. There's a guy, the guy here is a trend trader backtesting a system. Ridiculous, right? Because that thing's going to blow up. You have to have a scalping system that could blow up too. But at the end of the day, they've countered each other. The wick scalper is running along with the trend trader, is running along with the swing trader, and you have like 5 robots of different flavors on one currency pair. Not to mention, every morning you got to adjust the robot to the true range of the last 4 hours. So if the markets go hyperbolic, you got to set it to the hyperbolic setting, right? So, in other words, you have an employee and you're going to tell them, listen, you got to start drinking coffee because we need to have you work overtime. We're swamped, right? All of a sudden we got a big order and we can't lose business. So that's another thing, is that it's like owning a business in the way that there's a call to duty, like, sir, yes, sir, yeah, market sold off, bye. So you have to show up with hand grenades and the whole thing, but you've already prepped, you're prepper. You've got your order banks, you're ready to go. Same concept, same approach. People say, well, is there a good book to read? I don't understand your approach to trading. It's the same approach to life. There's no difference. Like, if you can't think for yourself, and you can overthink stuff. So I'm on the internet a lot of times, and I overthink stuff, and I read some instructions, and I'm like, maybe I'm overthinking these instructions. I don't get it. So I think that's what happens when people watch my video. They go, is he doing what I really think he's doing? I was like, yeah, but see, you've just maybe never seen anybody that just doesn't give a fuck. Most people give a fuck. And I don't. I mean, I do, ethically and morally, but I don't really care about whether you have a red car or blue car. I'm not going to say, I don't know, man. I don't need to ride that bad. Like, my car breaks down, you show up with a purple car with polka dots, I'd probably get in it. I probably prefer that, actually. So I enjoy chaos. That's why I trade. I enjoy the psychosis of the market. And the cutest thing is to see people that want to try to pigeonhole the market with a moving average. That's adorable. I remember when I tried to do that, I thought, I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe I'm going to have to actually draw trend lines on closing prices and actually work for my money. So this trade here, we're looking to make another 10 pips, and then maybe we call it a day. I have very, very ungreedy targets. I'll get out here at 1430. And in fact, I'm already predetermined to get out there. I actually have sell limits up there. I have sell limits to go the other way. I'm going to see what happens. If it explodes through, I'm screwed. If it goes ripping up, I'm screwed. It's right around the high of the day, the high of the year. Let's not forget it's the high of the year. Another reason why I don't think this thing's going to go down is because if they hit the high of the year and we go up 100 pips today and go nuts to the upside, people are going to be like, whoa. And just say goodbye to the dollar, I guess. Just say goodbye to the dollar. So we're looking to, our first target is 145.50. I'm going to go for 70. I think 70 is possible by the time the stock's open. If the stock's going through the floor, then it's going to be unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Black Friday. Well, listen to Steely Dan while the market crashes. So stocks are holding in there, though. Oh, that's the cash. Stocks are holding in there. Buyers are coming in. Oh, it looks like it on that chart, but not here. So here's the cash market. This is a 4 hour. And yikes. You can't really make any. I would say if this top bottom doesn't hold, then it's lights out. Okay, we're gonna so cash. We just hit our profit, and they're trapping people here. So I'm gonna take off my sell limits because I think they're gonna get trashed. Let me close these guys out, and I'm just gonna leave the ones that are about 15 pips up there. Oops, I missed one. Just as we approach the, now definitely selling way up in there in little pockets. So at the 4 hour, you're like, uh-oh. Yeah, it's in an uptrend. Another thing's hard to believe that you can get these absolute goober setups where retest, double bottom, pullback. You're buying pullbacks in an uptrend on the 4-hour chart. Now you look back, if this goes up, you look back and go, huh, why didn't I get in there? Because you probably tried maybe the same trade plan back here and they smashed your account. You're like, damn, buying an uptrend's tough. Like, no shit. Look at now, major pullback here. Sellers are coming in there. See, the sellers just came in here. Now, if I'd sold up there, I'd be up on that trade. And that trade would be done. If you're looking for a 10 pip target, you would have put your orders here and you would have scalped that pullback and you're out. It's like over for you. Look at them sell. Look at them come. Look at them trap here. So just like I said, this is a sell zone. Every 10 pips and every 10 pips is a buy and sell zone. Whoever bought there got out there and they sell there and they'll buy back. Look at this. Look at this pin bar on the 15, right? Buy, sell. You could have placed limits and bracketed that. Or just had your target. Just get in, get out, get in, get out. Now they're crushing anybody that bought that breakout. See how they're just raping you? You want to be in see, you're screwed, right? If you bought the top of that on a stop, will look good on the 1 hour's breakout and it can't. Okay, they're just killing you now. They're killing you. Sellers are going to come in here, obviously. So you could get out of everything right now and reload the gun. Dump and reload. Somebody asked me, do you got to like reload? Yeah, of course. You cashed out. Here, put the buy limits back in. Go for the gusto again. Take the nasty plunge all over again. They come back, they fill you, you're out. 4-hour chart. Maybe the big boys trade this chart, you know. And so up here, we're selling, right? We'll sell and see way out in space. Put these things way out here. Don't place orders you can't cash. I can put a handle at 30 pip stop. I can see a dead cat bounce off the ceiling. Like if you threw your cat on the ceiling and you ricocheted off. Because we could expect that, right? Look at the daily. And then you look at the weekly and you're like, geez, oh, Pete's. Come on, when's this thing going to back up? Look at this double bottom on the weekly. That big hammer. You would have put a buy stop on that hammer with an 80 pip stop. Ratio-wise, you would have made a ton of money, right? Ratio-wise, you look like a G. You know, that's 3 to 1 right there on that trade. 3 to 1 on that. I'm scalping on the weekly. I'm putting in scalps while I'm looking at the weekly chart. I'm like, yeah, this looks very possible. Next week, who's not selling up there next week at 150? I mean, 115. What are you, nuts, right? Of course you're going to sell up there. Place the order today. You don't have to open your platform for 2 weeks. You open it up in 3 weeks, you either got stopped out or you made money. Watching it happen, this guy that's complaining he can't get up and he can't, it fucks with his sleep. I posted scripts to cure that problem. If you write a script to buy low and sell high, and you're going to trade on a broker that forces you to do first in, first out, you have to write the script so the lowest order is the first order in the script. I'm presupposing that the broker is going to take the placement of the order down to the millisecond. Or you could put in a pause. You could put something in the script. You know, if you wanted to put a wait 2 seconds to the next order. Now you could hit a button and it could wait 10 seconds to the next order. What the broker considers to be first in, first out. This way, the first order that's placed is the bottom order. But I think they're talking about the fill, so I guess it wouldn't work. I'm thinking first in, I'm thinking first order I place pending. I don't even know what that means. So, but if that's not the case, then build your grid bank so that you have a hard stop connected to that bank and you risk the whole bank. As we have a cluster trade plan. And then you don't give a fuck. Let them blow that thing out. Apparently, yeah, they would stop you out of that first ticket in a grid limit drop situation. First order's filled, market crashes into the top order. Then it hits the first order, you're stopped out. And this is if you wrote the stops inside of the grid. You're going to buy a 50 pip range with 10 pip stops on a grid drop. You write the grid so the spacing is 20 pips. Then you put in risk 10 to make 30 pips, and you just lay it in there. Just come, and this is the same thing you would do anyways, is you're like, yeah, I got stopped out, I got back in, stopped out. If the ratio is 4-to-1, so that's the script you could write. You don't have to write master stops to engulf. The thing is that if you write you're going to buy a 20 pip range with a 50 pip stop to make 80 pips, you're saying, I'm a swing trader, I can handle the punishment, and when the thing goes into winnings and they're all up, you could probably hit the take all profits key and the broker's going to let you out. If they're all winners, he's going to let you out. And if you can't hedge, you just trade long. It doesn't matter anyways. You just trade from the short side or long side. You pick whatever I ask traders, hey, are you biased? Some people say, yeah, I like to sell. Some people say I like to buy. Some people say I don't care. If you ever traded stocks, I guess you're kind of bullish, right? So I traded stocks, and I'm bullish. But I can see where the sellers are coming in. And I can sell. I put sell stops in. So, in other words, there's a workaround. If you don't want to sell in limits, you sell in stops or sell at the market. You can take your, whatever you're afraid of, you can just work around it and build a trade plan that is built around your fears to override them. Write a script that trades like you would not normally trade, and then start trading that on a demo account, and then you start to rehearse a different language if you're trying to learn a different language or something. So yeah, I mean, selling into this thing in the weekly, pretty scary, right? There's no signal, there's no divergence on the weekly. It's straight sheer up. And the only place you could have sold this would be in this double top here. So I know people have sold this double top, and they're probably trying to sell this shoulder and saying, you know what? Okay, I got my 618 retracement. We've come off of this bottom. Right, you can only imagine, right? They took their fib tool, they hung it off of here, they put their, this is the Jason Stapleton famous the 2618 trade, right? It talks about this trade. Well, without context to the trend, you're going to get your nuts sheared off, right? Because you try to sell the pullback up into here. Better yet, you should just put a sell limit here. If you think this is the bottom, this is the top, right? Because it's the top that became a bottom, right? This is a pivot. Just below the 10 handle is a pivot. And that's the name of that tune. As Beretta would say, that's the name of that tune, and this is how life is. Life's crude, trading's for dumb people. So if you're dumb, dumbtraders.com. How about imbecilic, insanetraders.com? Or come up with an acronym. I like the acronyms, and then when you spell it out, you're like, holy shit. It would be called like fuckedtraders.com with a T instead of a K. FUCT.com. It's probably taken. Some big corporations got it. Then you open up the web page and you see fuckedtraders.com. Yeah, we're looking to lose. High probability losers. Yep. Yeah, looking to lose every day. Step up to the plate, people. Step up to the carnival. Step up to the man with one nipple. Now, if you didn't scalp out of this pound, you're screwed, right? As you can see, they're still dripping down. Always have a scalp in there. Now, I could actually scalp out of that, see? But you know what? Looks like it's going to tank. Take my winners. Let it plunge. And this thing can really plunge. It's a plunge-prone currency pair. It's a real date rape, this currency. Oh, look, it's going up. Guess I should have stayed in. Okay, so if I think I missed out, have no fear. Limit orders here, right? Just put the limit order. space them apart, half a pip. Put your cursor right between the arrows. That's why I got the arrows painted, so I can put the cursor right between them. Then just delete all objects. Here's same story. Same story, different currency. I'm going to buy right here on limits for I'm going to go for the 30 pip stop to make 15. It's my favorite bad ratio. If placed properly, high probability trade. If placed properly, mind you. Deep. The deeper the better. Because there could be a complete raid down here at the bottom today. Just for a flash crash. And we trade that wick and we're gone. So here I'm by the retest. I could just keep buying this over and over again. Trading this range from the long side only. Imagine you're forced to trade in the United States and you've only got this and you just do it over and over. You just put bigger tickets in. Instead of bigger tickets, you put in a different slightly price and you go to your thing and you put a precise 3K down here, right? You put a little node down here. This is actually 12 pip range 5Ks. A broader, but you go for a hot pocket, right? At the top of the bank here, you have stuff like 4K in a 3 pip zone, risk 20 to make 10, right on the wick. Once again, at the 10-yard line. Every time you drop this, keep marking down how much you're willing to lose. It's not how much you're trying to make, it's how much you're willing to lose. You have to think loser when you trade. I like this self-talk thing. I'm a winner. I'm good. I mean, no, you're not. You're a fucking loser. As soon as you pull the trigger, you're a loser, so why don't you just embrace it and become a full-time loser? Right? Fulltimeloser.com. That's how you make money. Accept the risk. I'll put the same order bank in here. Now, before you delete all the arrows, you keep the arrows up so you can keep track of all the orders that you've placed for the day. Now, here's a better ratio. Risk 10 to make 20. But if this is 10 pip grid, my exit's going to be here. I know where I'm going to get out before I get in. This is the whole trick. I'm going to get out here. I'm going to buy here. My stop's here. Place the order. Walk away. Nothing you do is going to change that. You've decided already you want to buy low, sell high. It's that simple. It needs to be that simple. If it's more complicated than that, then you're staring at some fucking supposedly holy grail trading system. There was this guy that used to trade, and he had, like, we called them balls. They were like these indicator things, and he had like MACD running underneath, and it was like, I'm like, dude, do you drive your car with like 80 fucking gauges on the dash? Have you killed anybody yet? Well, you should see the plasma indicators I got. Well, monitoring the output of my supercharger. Okay, but you just ran over a small child playing in the street with this cap gun. They don't have cap guns anymore, I don't think. Too many kids are getting shot by cops. You know, when I was a kid, you could have a gun. You could have a BB gun. You could have a squirt gun. Now we put red tips on the squirt gun. It reminds me of Dodd-Frank. We put red tips on the squirt. Well, gee, I wonder if the robbers are putting red tips on this. Oh, it's just a street gun. Where was the clever murderer that decided he was going to put a red tip on his gun and tell the cops, hey, relax, it's a squirt gun. What the fuck? They come up with these rules, dude. Everybody should be armed. Like, as soon as people started driving SUVs, I said to myself, maybe I should sell my sports car because I can't fucking see what's in front of me. I can't see what's to the right, to the left. It's like driving to Chicago. All you see is semi-trucks. You're in the wall of semi-trucks. You're like, holy shit. Is this legal? I mean, should I be able to sue for being put in this trailer box? Steel case semis are just all polished up, and they wash them every day. Rainbow colors. Rainbow Coalition. I'm surprised that Steelcase owner isn't gay. They had rainbow trucks. I would say probably still do. Chrome hubs. I'm thinking of the Hitcher, though. I'm thinking of the movie Duel. Duel, filmed in Chicago. Yeah, because they don't want to go across the lake. The price between boating, freight versus semi. And then, like I say here, British pounds coming back to life. Anybody that bought this down here is in love with their scalp. Dual scalps down here. 30-minute chart. You don't have to. You're not on the 1 minute chart when you scalp. In this scenario, in this approach of putting in limits, you're not. You just place them like this. You figure how much we want to blow up. 10 pips stop. My exit is above. My exit's here. In a swing trade scenario, your exit needs to be here and here. You know that going in. When you buy, you know where you need to get out. If you don't know where the exit door is, don't buy. Okay, the stocks are going to open up. Stocks are kind of iffy. If we don't rally here, which you probably could, it's totally been smashed in the ground. Now here's where the correlations might depart. It's not going to be as perfect as yesterday. And it's may not be possible for the market to do the exact same thing it did yesterday. Like major pullback in the euro. As you come into the opening, the stocks, now people have already sold. They got out at the 10-yard line. You see what I'm saying? People sold there. They already cashed out. The guy that's sitting here pulling the trigger on the 15-minute chart, there's his top bottom. He has buy limits here. He just got filled. He's not chasing. He's buying on limits. That guy that just bought that pullback. Maybe you're holding your longs. Maybe you're waiting for this to take out the high of the day, and you're building your position on every pullback you pull. Buy a 1K every time it's down. The 5-minute chart, you're allowed to buy every pullback. So here at the end of 5 minutes, actually the last 5 minutes was down. So you bought a little bit here, wait another 5 minutes, buy here, and then when stocks open, we could go spiking down. Don't forget, as soon as money comes in, it's going to have it's going to create a little bit of a volatility spike, almost like an option. Premiums go up. The market could be going against you. If you bought a call and the market went down, if it went down hard, your option went up in price because all premiums explode across the options world. That's why they put on butterflies, they put on a butterfly, and they put on these bizarre names for these option strategies, right? The straddle of death, God knows what, right? And I read all those books, you see all this stuff, you're like, oh boy, I don't know if options, really? Like, woof. Yeah, there's a time decay, man. Time's ticking. Like, oh my God, you missed like a bomb from a Hitchcock movie? Like, yeah. And it's not in your favor. It's a slow bomb. It's like you're slowly watching your account, your premium decay, and you're like, man, this thing better get her done. I sure hope that. And then the triple witching stuff on TV, like, hey, triple witching, man, be careful. It's Friday, triple witching. Well, it's the end of the month too, so this will be the last day of the week. You could possibly get a trend continuation trade on the 4-hour. But you have to play it right. There's no sense in being aware of the trend without realizing that you have to be a scalper on some of these exits, because to just ride one move like that is just, and then back test it and say, oh no, I've got this system, you got to see it. Oh, okay, great. I got this car, has no suspension, it's got P0 Pirellis on it. I'm bending the rims, I don't understand why. Huh, it's crazy. Yeah. So, once again, we're waiting here now. So 5-minute guys are buying that pullback. They're like, okay, stocks are about to open. It's not getting any cheaper, people. And we still got a vacuum above us. The latest vacuum is that 4-hour vacuum. We'll fill that, pull back a little, and then here comes the British pound, and maybe there's a smash down in the dollar yen, and it engulfs the whole day and blows out the floor, and the same thing happens in the stock market. Stocks look itching to ride up. It looks like a pullback to buy here. So maybe there's no correlation. Maybe they all move in concert, and that's what happens. Sector rotation is going to cause that. Okay, so they pulled back, and we're just going to wait till stocks open. And that'll be the final hammer of the day. If I hit 145 to 175, I'll go flat. I'll be done. I'm not going to stick around for the sideways drift, all this stuff. I want to trade wave 3. I want to hit it and quit it. I don't want to stick around for the drama, for the drift drama, for the malaise, for the doldrums. How many don't play doldrums? Now, if you like it, right? If you're into it, sure, right? Get yourself a cup of tea, sit down, kick your feet up. You gotta have a doldrum trade plan. That's when you're in the water. The doldrums is when you're in a ship, you're trying to get wind on your sailboat and nothing's going on. And there's just no drums. There's no drama. Dull drama. Looks like the pound could go for a go up. 30 minutes. Let's sync our charts to the 5. We maybe get a half-hour rally. We got a double bottom here. You could have bought the double bottom on the 5. Sellers maybe come in here. Okay, stocks are about to open. There's going to be way more volatility on the pound because notice there's a 20 pip drama here and there's only a 10 pip drama here over the same time frame period. So it's double mint fun. When you go to the pound, you need to think wide. And the wicks, right? It looks the wicks are just as brutal today on the euro. Go to this 15-minute chart wicks. You got a triple bottom on the 15. You got a double bottom on the 5. No confirmation entry there. Here's the wick window. So if you put your limits in this tiny wick window, you don't have to trade really. If you're a swing trader and you want to trade the guppy, you're buying that 150 pip deep space, 20 pips apart. So the spacing's critical. Order density. How many tickets are you running per day? All that math, you know. This looks like it's going up. So I have the sell bank set above. In the structure of the 4-hour chart, it's a little different, right? Because you're like, oh, double top, and the 4-hour sellers are coming in. Plus, you have this top become a bottom. But that was your scalp. Or if it makes you feel better, you look at that. Or you just say, hey, if it goes up 10 pips, I'm selling. If it goes down 10 pips, I'm selling. That could be your trade plan. And do you hand place those on the rungs, on the 10 pip rungs? That's the question. Okay, little follow through here. Stocks are open right now. Let's take a look at stocks. Stocks are up, but it doesn't. If I was long, I'd be getting out here, right? That's the obvious exit right here. And actually, anywhere up into that, there's see this kind of bent part here? There's a doji right there. Son, there's a doji in that 15-minute chart. You better watch out. Right here. You can see when it crapped out. This is the first target for the retracers. Is right there. It could turn on a dime right there too, and then everything could just go terribly wrong for the rally here. It'd be over. So let's go back to the clock. And it's only been 1 minute. Now I can take profits here on this one. It looks like the sellers are going to come in. So let me get out of the pound. I clear that off. And I could do the same thing. Once this is out, I'm still underwater on these top orders. But see, I'm making money along the way. Now this might blow out the top, but look how I just got out of my exposure here. Now I'm kind of, it's almost like trading with, the people say I can't lose on the trade kind of thing. I guess math-wise, I'm still going to be at 67,000-ish. Especially if the euro goes up. It'll cover this. If we pull back here, see, we're managing. See, we missed. I was going to take off and go flat here. This is where the management comes in. If that pops up to this wick, I just come over here and then I put another buy limit bank beneath it. And I guess the thing is that the problem with trading multiple currencies at a broker that says, did you have to go first in, first out? I'm assuming that you have to open 2 accounts because otherwise you're not going to get out of the pound trade till you get out of the euro trade, and then you're really going to fuck up the account, which is what you're really doing when you do not take off even trading in a European account. You're not going to, if you don't take off this selectively, you're not going to realize the robustness of your concept, because every instrument's in a different phase. They don't move in concert. Even if the dollar is going to get crushed today, it won't be a even crush across each country. It'll be kind of choppy on one, the other guy's going up, and this guy's winning. Okay, so now I'm up on this. I'm going to get out of that. And now I can come in with limits. See, I have more flexibility. I'll have more flexibility after the election. So now I'm going to say, I'll buy that on pullbacks now. I do that a lot because I don't want to be in the market. I want to make money. I don't want to be in the market. So how's this different? If I cash out of this instrument, now this guy's making money. I can see that this guy was at the 10-yard line as my target. Come here with deeper orders. These 8-hour orders, so these are forever according to the Poindexter. It's forever. Okay, this guy's underwater for here, and I got sell limits above I got to get rid of, because those look ridiculous, right? This thing looks like it's violently going to take out the high of the day. It's going to go full auction. Now isn't going to fill that void, but it's going to fill the void of the void, which is the high of the year. So now I'm going to take a risk and start selling into the high of the year today for scalps. 30 pip stops. Don't duplicate the orders. That's why you want to have the arrows up here, so you don't do duplication. So duplication is not your friend here. You don't want standing waves. I'll put a cluster here at 150. I'll put another cluster here. So the scenario is it goes up there, ricochets off, pulls back, ricochets. All right, you have your hand on the take profit key. And you ride the scenario out with your finger. Here's the daily, here's the weekly. On the weekly, it looks like a fantastic idea to sell up here, doesn't it? And here's the high of last year at this time. The 1 year high is 16.15. I would definitely sell up there. What do you think? Not today, but this is what it looks like to sell up there. You place the order up there. It's so stupid. Trust me, I was very upset when I found out the trading was easy, because I really thought it was going to be hard. I worked so hard studying all the indicators, and this is oversold, but I had I just did not pay attention to the math of how much I was risking and how much I could make off of a smaller time frame. So the big picture make you hold on to a loser because you're, put a wider stop because you're like, yeah, my targets are in the next month. Okay, so this guy could be right. We could go all the way to 132 someday, but for the moment, it's a rush to the top. For bears, it's a race to the bottom. For the bulls, it's a race to the top. Now look how I'm getting filled here on the pound. It's logical for me to buy this on pullbacks because there's yin and yang between the punishment of the pound and the punishment of the euro. So I buy this on pullbacks on the 5 because I knew I had to get out there. So you can trade one direction. I buy here again at the 10. So I just picked up a few tickets there. And I have my take profit key on that one instrument. I can just take that off. When that becomes a winner, I take it off, right? I peel that order off with the close all on that one instrument. Now I can put some buy stops here because I've got extra margin. Put in some real goobers. I'm putting in the 25 pip stops now and the 15 pip stops, 20 pip stops on the euro. If we go full auction here, what will happen is it'll reject this bottom that's supposed to become a top, and it'll just blow out the top. Right? People will think they're going to sell there, and when they get stopped out, their stops will feel the move up. So anybody that sells there, so people's trade plans are, it's people's trading that's creating the market moving. It's everybody's trading. And it's all the patterns that we know, the way they unfold, where buyers and sellers would come in. It's painfully obvious. And when they don't come in, then it's painfully obvious. And then if you have a trade plan for when they don't come in, you're like, uh-oh, looks like that really is not going to blow out the top, and that really is a sell, and it hesitates there. All right? Or you're going to say, the reason why people do the top-down view, they go, why don't we see the major trend is? But if you're really trading too tight a stop, you're never going to realize that major target of 200 pips. You made the right call, but they kicked you off the train. You're on the way to a certain train station, but they kicked you. You're laying on the side of the road because you're too. You're just being too careful. So you have to be willing to get picked up by the hitcher. The sociopath picks you up in the car. Do you get in it? Then I see this guy. This guy that's trolling my site says, well, schlocky brokers. Really? They're just people. I mean, if you can't get your money out of the broker, then why did you put in 10 grand? Because I got a really good trade system. Dude, just put $100 in your account. Seriously, just put $100 in your account. It's about making money. If you can't turn 100 into 300, go back to the drawing board. Go back to demo. You should be able to make $100 a month with a $100 account. Is that asking too much? I got to place all them orders. So this passive income pays your phone bill, right? Pays for your porn, right? Porn's not cheap. So all this stuff, right? You have more than one broker. More than one. Do you have a Bitcoin account? If you have a Bitcoin wallet, you're a trader, right? Is the government going to tell people now that they can't have a Bitcoin wallet because the price is fluctuating? What the fuck, right? Don't forget, Dodd-Frank's written to attack Lehman Brothers. Are you Lehman Brothers? No. It's the fallout effect from bad law. But what do politicians do for a living? What do legislators do for a living? Write bad law, right? They write to the mob. They write to the crowd out there. There is no crowd, right? There is no them. It's just individuals, but not in the Marxist world that has been in the United States for the past 30 years. Right? The New Deal is the client, brought about by postmodernism thinking, and you can see it everywhere you go. The one guy, the guy that was criticizing me, calling me insane, yeah, right? Because he went to school. He says, "You're not communicating clearly. You keep changing topics on me." All right. You can always hit the pause button. You can always always watch Kathy Lee Gifford or something. Talk about mental masturbation. Go watch some zombie movie. Which actually, the zombie movies keep you on your toes a little bit, don't they? Zombie movies are very scary. It's adrenaline, right? Sellers are coming in here at the 10-yard line. Go figure, right? So this is the top that's supposed to become a bottom here, right? That top-bottom theory doesn't work. Yeah, it does, see? Sellers came in there. Yep, indeed. But will they stay in there? Can they hold it down? Can he do it? Is some more news coming out? Stocks have been open for how long now? I mean, stocks are going up. Yep, sure enough. Because you see how the stocks are going up into this target on the 15 structure, and there's a fight going on. There's a battle going on for your mind. So if this guy wins the battle, and just as that's happening, the stocks come up into this node, or maybe they're getting trapped right now. And this is it, man. Because look at this bottom. Right there's the doji. Sellers are coming in. Look at this pivot. Yeah, they're coming in there, sure. And so when if it stalls there, and people are like, I think that's it. They'll start selling in a big stairway here, and you can already build your down channel. You're channel trading this. Uh-oh. What channel's the wrong color? It's not going to work. So here's your down channel. And you're already saying, well, you know what? Sure. Target's down at the bottom of that channel. Pretty greedy targets. I don't know if you hit them. They're pulling back this. The sellers came in there. So that top bottom works for like, hey, it's right for 8 pips. What more do you want? But will it, and then of course we have to get through this thing. But how do we get through? Do we rifle through that, or is it going to be like, you know, if it stalls out here, this is where the sellers come in. And maybe now maybe you could go down. So you would say, well, let's build a channel. Let's speculate. The fractal's here. Right, this is your triple fractal channel. We're assuming channels move in an angle. See how there's a perfect channel. You drag this over. Seller should come in here if this is a real channel. If this is a Anders pitchfork trade, right? See double bottom. See that this transverse index of the currency. You pick the one you want. Here, see it roll over. See breakout, pull back on the clock, roll over, go up. It's going up, and the big channel's up. The counter trend channel is your entry. Here's your up channel. Here's where it all comes together here. See, this is the thread. This is the 1 hour channel. There's only one way to draw it, too. If you're doing it on close, right, you're going to connect the peaks and valleys. It's totally retarded. Here. See how it's touch here, touch here, touch here. You're projecting up into this is where the seller should come in. So when price meets momentum, right up in there. Here's the other envelope, support. See how it touches here, and it touches this top, and it touches this double top. See, there's a volatility envelope inside the channel on the way up. There's the other one. Connect this low. It cues off. Here's the doji, so you could have it sitting on the dojis. Right there. So this bottom, see how this bottom cues up to this doji, to this bottom? There's a little envelope right in there. But maybe you just want to make 20 pips, and that's just too esoteric, all that stuff. It's totally possible. Alrighty. I think there's news at 10 o'clock. Let me see. Oh, this is consumer confidence. I'm sorry, revised. So we're going to backwards, and then we have the Bank of Canada Outlook Survey at 10:30. Let's see how the Bank of Canada is doing. Yeah, gold's getting hammered. I say gold's going to 500. How about you? First 1,000. People will be suing their brokers in the States. Don't forget. That's where this all came from. These poor son of a bitches that got in the market, and then I'm suing my broker for. Yeah, they'll be suing. Look at my entries here, filled on limits here. Look at this buy new lows here. I wanted to tell Akil Stokes this trade because I know how he was short. And I was going to tell him, put a crop of buy limits at the new lows. Without confirmation? What are you, nuts? Okay, we'll scalp that. And then leave a few on the table for the move to here. Hey, what are you, nuts? What are you, insane? Not to mention, if you look at the other time frame here, look at all the little inflection points on the 15-minute. You can't really, you got to look at for the 4 hour. There's not enough screen on here, but I'm sure if you go and mark this price, so right here, at this price, you're buying this new low, everything beyond this new low. So here's your trade plan as you bought. Here's how you back test it. You bought right here. Now go to the 15-minute chart. You see how that was a huge winner? See how that worked out? You bought here. Right, you bought new lows. It was also new lows from way back. And look at that trade, man. So 20 pip grid. That's a 30 pip winner, chicken dinner right there all fucking day long. Buy here, dump. Or dump here, scalp it. Same story here. Buy, dump. Buy. Fantastic buy this morning. Why aren't they trading that trade over there? Because they're a long-term swing trader. Let me show you how to. No, you should be able to show me how. You should be able to describe your trade plan in like 10 minutes. The rest of it's academic. But they're teachers. They're academic, all right. So we got to reject this. Let me get rid of this garbage. We got to reject this low. So in simple terms, it's always going to come down to this. We got to get over that hurdle. On the 15, we got to get over this hurdle. So the sellers came in at this bottom here. Right here, right? 10-yard line. Sellers came in 3 times there. Banging on that. You've got to get through that. And you can't take this out. This has to stay. Buyers are going to come in here. If they don't, then all bets are off. This is the top bottom on the 15 that got you up to this point of the trade. And you're always going to buy down here. Even if they stop you out and they smash back like they did when that was that Draghi shit, we got to hold this trend line. And consumer sentiment's coming out 10 minutes, so if we consolidate here and people are like, uh-oh, and then we get followed through the upside, maybe even a baby top bottom here on the 15. If it pauses right here, we'll have a baby top bottom. In 15 minutes, top of the hour, it closes here. You could close there, go down. Don't forget, close there, go down, and rifle around for 15 minutes. And when it comes back up, it'll look like a top bottom in time because it's time stamped. As level 2 people would understand timestamp, right? It's timestamped the closer, so the setup will still look okay, even though now you're saying, wait a minute, it's not doing the top bottom. All it has to do is flick up here at the top of the hour. If it's up, in hindsight, it'll look like a top bottom. So you realize that while it's forming, you're trading a candle while it's forming in essence. It also depends how big are you in on these trades, but you're watching this from a standpoint of like it's giving you confirmation to stay in a trade. Don't forget, there's confirmation to stay in a trade. You get in. I'm not using confirmation to get in. I'm using confirmation to stay in because I can see what the other traders around me. I need other traders to make me money. I need the 5-minute traders to make me money. Even if I'm a swing trader or a 1-hour trader, I need the 5-minute traders to do what they need to do to create that explosion, to create the trends come off the 5-minute. The ripple effect, right, is the butterfly effect, right? The butterfly effect is the tick chart. Tick chart's affecting this effect, and so the sideways, right here, the quiet part, like people like doubting whether this is the doji. They're like, gosh, is this a good trade? Now there's a doji on another time frame for certain, like, right? At the end of half hour, you'd say, yeah, you know what? Hindsight, that looks like a doji, but we have to have foresight. We're trading anticipation of moves. We could be wrong, but that's why we trade with stops. This is why we trade on 40 brokers in case one broker goes out of business. We can manage money. We can manage PAM accounts. There's no law against you pulling the trigger on a PAM account, right? It's not your account. Nobody knows you're pulling the trigger on that account. You're logged into really? You can't trade somebody else's account. Now, if you're up for that, I don't want to be responsible for blowing up somebody. Like I just do everything by myself. But if you're a person that understands what I'm doing and you want to trade other people's money, maybe that's because you don't have enough money. You want to manage people's money. You don't back test it. Forward test it with your own real money and forward test it on a demo. If you can't get the leverage you want, demo trade it, find somebody that has $100 and say, put $100 and I'll trade your account for you. I get a feeling that this guy who's trolling me is one of these Glum from the fairy tales. Glum, it'll never work. I just know it. And of course, all the excuses, right? Can't do this, can't do that. You don't have. I mean, if you want to do something, you do it. Okay, let's see what happens when the consumer sentiment comes out here. And we'll see what happens. What we're going to say, right? Let's get this thing traded. 5 minutes till news. Looking at the 5-minute chart, you had 5 minutes to buy at the market. You got a top bottom. The 15, in hindsight, this will be a perfect top bottom on the, what did I say, the 15? Well, not really, right? But this was what we're supposed to set up. See, that's why you need the 7-minute chart. I used to do that. I don't think there's anything I haven't tried yet. When I first started trading, I go, well, you know, when I traded soybeans, it was 5 bars, 45-minute bars. TradeStation let you do a 45-minute bar because there's 5 bars a day in soybeans. There's 225 minutes the market's open. How do you divide 5? This is the math I did do, is 5 into 45 is 9. 9-minute charts. I'm on the 9-minute chart trading it. Breakouts on the 9-minute chart. That's how I traded it. It's also 45.9 is a cycle things that Andrew Cardwell uses, 45.9. Some people use 45.9 because that's from the old days of, oh, that's the cycle of the calendar. Then the Fibonacci came in and people said, oh, I have a 13-period moving average. It's like, okay, there's a new kid in town. I don't want to hear it, right? You just got to get this thing to bust up, start scaring the shit out of the bears. In 5 minutes, the news comes out, and people are like, uh-oh, this top-bottom theory is not working so good. I sold on the 15 like you told me, because it worked back here, right? This, in a downtrend, this bottom became a top. Will this bottom become a top? That's the question. And it might for a millisecond. Because like I said, the sellers come in there. On the 5s, they were coming in, right? The structure on the 5, see the closing on the 5? It's right at the 10. The sellers are supposed to come in there, not. And if you're still bearish, you're not going to be able to double up and go the other way now. Because you're like, nope, sticking with the trade plan, selling this thing. Okay, we got to go up to this 4-hour structure. We've got to, sellers are going to come in there, but if we go up hard enough, we're just going to blow right through that. Because if this news, I don't know, the consumer sentiment's not a big high-impact news, but people, this is the last day of the month, last day of the week. It's triple witching. Triple witching Friday. So, and then this Canadian thing looks like a big deal, especially considering where their currency's at. But the scalpers didn't give a fuck, right? They made their pips, they're out. They made their pips. In fact, if you look at the weekly, where's the next place to buy next week? You guessed it, right here. New lows. I can't believe you're telling people to get in down there. If you don't think you want to risk trading, don't. I forgot to do the disclaimer. I figure everybody's a grown-up by now. I'm not selling anything. I don't give a fuck. I'm just bitching on the internet about fucking retarded instructors charging $4,000. That should be investigated. Oh no, they filled out all the legal documents to scam you. I like this guy complaining about shoddy brokers when, how about shoddy instruction from a $4,000 course that leaves you going, huh, okay. And how am I supposed, well, what you got to do, son, is I'm going to start hitting you in the face. You got to get used to that first. Okay. I like that. Would it be funny? Like, I remember there was this forex boot camp. It's probably still out there. I can only imagine, right? Sir, yes, sir. You can't bounce a quarter off of your platform. Can you only imagine, right? Well, first we have the. You're going to go into basic trading. We're going to show you that who's in charge on this candle. We have 6 weeks of that. That module. Somebody asked me, "Do you have a trading course?" Okay, here's it. First 6 weeks we study up candles and down candles. Once you can identify an up candle and down candle, we move you on to what is the range of that candle. Then what we're going to do is look at 2 candles. And after 6 weeks, we're going to look at 3 candles back. And by the time you graduate in 10 years, we'll have 20 bars on the chart, and we'll be able to say, well, we'll be able to hindsight trade it and say, you know what, this is where we could have got in. And then when I put about, if you go into the advanced, this is the master's, or you get a PhD in my trading course. It's just like, think about Scientology. OT8 is going to be 10 grand a month. What we're going to do there is, then we break out the harmonic scanners. We show you that you came out of a Boeing jet explosion into a volcano. And if you tell anybody what you've seen here, all your bitcoins will evaporate. That's just how it is. In fact, when you sign up with my trading course, what we do is we take your Bitcoin key and we set it aside. And if you don't do what we say, we don't even steal your coins. We just erase them. Lose the blockchain or what the fuck. Okay. Waiting on Godot. So here it is. Spread should get wide. Consumer sentiment in 20 seconds. I'm seeing them bid it up. Pre-consumer sentiment bid up here. Right? This is the pre-bid up. Looking for 174. Psycho spike to 174. Okay. I'm seeing. What am I saying? 1470. 11470. Okay. 11457 is just beyond the high day, but I'm going to go for the full Monty today. 50 pip run on the euro. Let's take the money and run, kids. We've got to blow out this low on the 4-hour structure. We just got to shear its head off. News is out. Not big enough to shock the spreads, though. I'm saying 114.70 to 114.80, hopefully 115. Yeah. 114.8. Yeah, 114.8. 114.60 to 114.8. I got my finger on the take all profits key. So we're coming up into where the seller should come in. And they've got to shear that. They've got to engulf that and destroy that trade plan. But you can see the sellers coming in. If you go to the 5-minute, you see they just came in there right at that 10-yard line. They're coming back a little bit. Go back to the 4-hour. See the stocks. Let's see if stocks are getting hammered here. Okay, stocks are, they're holding this channel I built. Right? And we didn't make it to that node. We did make it to the wick. So the aggressive traders sold into that wick. And I'm sure on the 5-minute chart, it's a perfect structure, but you sold into this wick and you didn't get filled on the closing, but you had, this is the bottom for the aggressive entry. Okay, now I'm looking for it to just go Spazzarella down. And maybe we'll take out the low of the day. It's just going to be unbelievable. I can't wait till I sit back and watch the news try to digest the price actions and make all their claims about it. Why it did that? Well, the numbers. Well, the numbers really haven't changed too much. Okay, the sellers came in here. Is that it? Is this the place to dump your whole position for the week now? If you got in really low there, the pound says no. So look how I refilled the entries here on the pound on just hand-placed pullbacks there. 67,200. I'll be out of this thing by 11:30. I'll be flat. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going flat. Win, place, or show. I'm going flat. We're gambling, people. Alrighty then. We're gamblers, damn it. Who are we, Sarge? Who are we, Sarge? We're gamblers. Okay, forex boot camp, limit boot camp, base camp. Well, in base camp, we learn how to blow up the account. See, drop and give me 50 pips. I can't imagine that forex boot camp must be like. I wear a cat. I survived forex boot camp. And you got like a zero balance, a negative balance written on your T-shirt. I can't, the problem with these empowered trading people, it's just so they're dressed up and they took a shower and they have the usual trappings and the room's all well lit with a bunch of high-end movie lights. And how about just get her done trading? Do it yourself thinking. How to hack, forexhack.com. Yeah, you know what? We just trade. Give me some of that. Come here. What? No. Oh, I'm sorry. But let's get to Gottlieb pattern now and take a look at the markets. Well, it's taken years to design this algorithm. Oh, you didn't read the manual, did you? I think the manual says it all. Simmer down. Think about your trading. Have a good breakfast. Say hi to your mom. Buy flowers for girls you don't know. Okay. I'm saying, this is the thing. If a girl on the side of the road has a flat tire and she weighs 400 pounds, do you stop and help her? This determines whether you're going to go to heaven or not. My roommate, the people below us they smoked cigarettes and we could smell their cigarettes creeping through the floor. And I told the landlord that, he goes, those rooms are sealed. I'm like, right. I go, dude, I'm living inside of an ashtray. I don't even smoke. I'm living inside of an ashtray. Well, okay. That's all he said was okay. So my buddy, in the wintertime, one of these health nuts that live below us. I mean, the lady falls down. I don't know if it was a gay couple, old ladies, and they were just sticking together for a buddy system. She falls down in the ice with her Lay's potato chips. He goes out and rescues her, and I didn't really think he had it in him because he's such a cynic and the same guy that was picking up chicks at the art gallery. So I thought, wow, maybe they have big breasts. These girls that fell down, they're not girls, they're old women. So, yeah, that was something else, man. Those were the days. So I have nostalgia for those days. I'm going to go back to, see if I could tour the apartment. I'll go back there and ask him can I tour the apartment just for old time's sake? It just kind of it kind of breaks my heart that I don't live here anymore. It's a heartbreaker. Okay, we're still waiting for whatever. I guess the Canadian news. I don't know why doesn't, this is what I don't understand is if we're going to go take a hike, could we just do it now? Because I got to go have some more coffee. I'm going to come back to this drama. I just don't have the patience. I'm going to torture you with this fucking 2-hour video. 20 minutes to the news out of Canada. So the sellers did come in here on the 4-hour chart. And then they backed off. Okay, they hold it down there. On the 5-minute, you can see probably a top on the 5-minute. You probably see a double top on the 1 minute there. So if you're going to pick through that, you can see the triple top on the 1 minute. That's when you're coming right into that wick there. So what you do is you mark off the wick, go to the 1 minute chart, you're looking for an engulfing pattern there. See, but look how it just keeps banging off. 1 minute it's banging off that 10. Accumulation, the 1 minute trend line to break. So we can see what the 1 minute traders are thinking. They're itching for that to break out. News is coming out in 10 minutes. Are we going to go through this pivot? And then just go roaring north and take out the high. Take out the high of the year. Today. Today only. It's on sale today only. About 50 pip run up there. 114.70. Okay, this looks like the trend line's making it look like we're up there. We're not. So we're sitting right here. The pound is winning. I'm going to get out of the pound trade. So I'm taking these guys off the table and constantly doing inventory control, because they're probably trapping people here. Then what I do is come back in with the same strategy. Risk 30 to make 15. Put the limits in 1 pip apart. Put your cursor right between the arrows and you double stack. That's 20K. Sitting in a 10 pip zone, 30 pip stop, looking to make 15. So the question is, are we going to keep going up here? 10 minutes till news. Pound is just pissed off. There's the one, see the sellers are coming in at the bottom of the 1 hour pound. That's another reason to get out. Top bottom theory right here. The trend traders will be selling there. People that think it's in a downtrend. It is in a downtrend right now. The current little sell-off's a downtrend, right? Plus, they just trapped everybody here. You could add your sell limit here and you'd be slightly up on that trade. We got to reject that, engulf the whole day on plus the euro plus the pound. And the dollar yen's got to go through the floor, so to speak. Take out the lows here. Take a look at the stock market. Nice scalp on that stock market. Look at the buyers come back. It's a real, you really got to be in and out. Look at this 15-minute chart. Look at that. So you had to have your targets, had to be here at this top. So Bank of Canada. News is coming out. Big red news. Take a look at Canada. Go to the 15-minute chart. You got a double bottom. We could just go rifling through the floor here. Another trap buy, but I think this could go right through the floor here on the dollar CAD. Big news. So the answer is to just put buy limits here. In fact, you can paper trade this. If you can't handle a demo account, just look at it and go, hey, you know what? Would you buy down there? And how big would the bank be? And do the math and figure out how much it would cost you to buy down there. And get rid of my sell limits up here. Looks like it's just gonna go through the ceiling here on this damn thing. Looks scary. So here comes the news. Taking off my sell limits on the euro. I think we could go to 115. At least 114.60 euro dollar. Okay. Path of least resistance up. Here comes the news for, that's a 5-minute chart. This is dollar CAD. Imagine you got an order bank limit down here. I have some drops here, don't I? Here's some hand place drops here. Risk 22 pips. Like this. You can hand place singles too. So you can put buy stops above in case it's bullish. If you're going to trade from the bullish side, these single drops, these are buy stops now. These are buy limits. You can put them in a logarithmic kind of compressed entry here. This is probably if you've never traded before, and if you're trading in the States, these scripts will run. It's just that I can't say that you'd have to have this tight stop where they stop you out. and then picks up the other order bank, because first in, first out, you'd have to design around that. There was a broker in the States, in Texas, called IBFX, my first broker I ever traded with. And they'll let you trade a nano account, $100 positions. And what they did is, when Dodd-Frank came out, they adjusted their back office so that on your platform it looked like that wasn't a problem. And they'd make it so that your platform behaved as nothing happened, but their back office, they bought a bunch of computers to reshuffle the deck so that it appeared. But then they just gave up and went offshore. They lost too much money. And they would actually talk to you on the phone and stuff. Lost too much money. So you can trade a U.S. broker overseas. So if you trade overseas and you're trading 50 to 1, you're compliant with the law. So that's also the inversion of there's no I don't think there's any foreign forex guys that set up shop here and they let the Europeans trade. They probably do, though. There might be a broker, I don't know if you're allowed to do that, like open a brokerage firm here and offer 1,001 leverage and just don't let anybody in the United States open an account. Do the inversion. Take the other side of that legislation. Take the other side. You basically counter trend trade the bad law. I guess this is going to be the final countdown here. There's one last piece of news to digest, and there's no news, and then it's just off to the races as far as looks like CAD's going to get smashed. So the dollar goes down, euro might go up. Stocks are pulling back. Take a look at the 5-minute stock market. People are trading the CAD here. I did a CAD trade like this once. There was news coming out, and the market started vibrating. I was doing really big. I was like, geez. But I was trading these scripts here where you find a stop, find a limit, so it's all designed to go long here. I just got trapped on a buy stop on that wick. So here I put buy stop above. These will all become buy stops. If I'm in the buy bank, I think I am. Let's hope so. Right, buy stop. So it says buy drop. It means this would be a 15 pip stop to trade a breakout. Now you hand place this. I'm trying to make it as automated as possible to really, if you've never traded before, you would just say, okay, well, I'm just going to place this. Right? And if it goes down, would I buy lower? Really wide? Yeah, sure. Put these in. So I didn't write down the balance on this account, but 49.88, say 49.88.5. News in 2 minutes. Okay, 5 seconds to news. Looks like I'm going to crush this dollar. Spreads are getting wide here. Okay, news is out. Supposedly the big news for Canada. I put buy stops above. Put buy limits below. Let's see what's happening here. Pounds filling me again, I think. To see if I got filled, I go to the 5-minute. No. See how the stock market's taking it. Okay, dollar CAD down. Maybe takes the stock market with it. No, stocks are going up. Looks like the big news of the day right here. So once they trip this wick, I would run a trailing buy stop above for 8 hours. Now here you can hand place it. You could do 15-minute scripts here, hand placed. It's just the best way to train yourself to think in probabilities of, well, if it goes up, I'm going to scalp, and then go for the scalp script up here. So make, oh, I don't have it in real here. These are all swing trades, but I was trying to make 10 pips. Here's risk 5 to make 8. Here's a scalp. 5 to make a 1 hour script down here, risk 5 pips to make 8 pips. Just throw them down randomly. You're risking 80 cents to make, I'm risking 50 cents to make 80 cents here. For 1 hour. Give me 1 hour, 1 hours to get there. You're saying, I'm going to give that market an auction, expiration. It's got to get there in X. I can go to the 5-minute, place it on the fractals now. Place it right on the high of this bar. I can actually strictly, instead of having a hard-coded script or something, right there. 50 to make, I make 80 cents. This is you get to about $3 real quick. I'm about to buy this new low here for 1 hour. Buy here for an hour. Buy here. Okay. I guess the news is out. It looks like it was delayed because look at it now. Ferocious, right? Like my buy stops are getting filled. I'm in 28K. I'm like 14K here, I think. Okay, so here comes the 5-minute traders. Here they come. They're going to rescue us. Here we go. Gonna sit tight here. Waiting for this to take out that 4 hour. I'm suspecting these are huge trades coming in. Some of my brokers are frozen. There's so much orders coming into the market here. I'm doing some arbitrage. Servers are overloaded. This is the last day of the month. This is the triple witch. They're just crushing. They're crushing stuff here. Look at the CAD coming back. So I'm up on this trade a little bit. Oh, I'm in for the long side. Here's my take profits. See? You just trade it. No magic. If the stocks start to sell off here, then it will really be a pretty serious bloodbath for the dollar. So this is the scalp. I'm up $1. How's the pound doing? So I have limits here on the pound. Gonna buy the pullback there again. Look at this euro dollar tick chart. It's insane. Look at that drop. You see this this lunge here? Something's going on. Look at this. I see it across every broker. Almost every broker is freaked out and overloaded on that move. Moment of truth here. All right, we're waiting again. So look at this guy's tick chart on the euro dollar, and look at this guy's tick chart. Wow. Yeah, there's some giant order coming in, man. It's like crazy. Go back to the other tick chart. This guy's at 14.17. Look how much volatility. My God, man. So I'm buying. I'm going to add to my position here if it pulls back. I'm buying this pound as it's collapsing. I'm going to buy a retest here on the pound. So if the euro's going to go up, the pound's going to dip and follow. This guy's trapped in no man's. It's confused. I'm still in this thing, and I'm buying more euro dollar because the more it doesn't go down, the more it's going up. Sellers came in at that 4-hour wick, that 4-hour bottom like clockwork. Then we ricocheted back. Now we're sitting in the middle of fair value. No sellers are coming in. There's a triple bottom on the 1 hour. So we've had a kind of quintuple bottom here. A lot of bobbing around the round number. And what do they say? The bears can't hold this. Alexander Elder says the bears can't hold the bulls can't hold the bear's head underwater. So here the bulls are going to pretty much have the bears up, grabbing them by the scruff of their neck, is the Alexander Elder reference metaphor. So they're going to, if they lift them out, we're looking to take out this trend line and hit our 115. I'm always thinking of the dream trade, although you can see today, if you could have accepted the fact that the energy was dying and that this is really the place to get out, is right in the middle of fair value, the last known fair value. That was the high probability vacuum fill. So big move means big response, but it's really time frame perspective, because there's no, you can't see the vacuum here unless you go, you can't see the cup and handle unless you go to the 5-minute chart maybe. Even that you wouldn't see it because that wick is like 1 minute. Under 1 minute wicks. So I'm going to do a new script here. I'm going to go to double click mode next week. Most of this stuff was double clicks to market, some market orders, but I think I want to go for the I don't give a fuck orders, which is basically I wrote a double click here that's going to get in 8 hours. So as the account gets bigger, you just keep stacking deeper. Just pick a time frame that you're willing to endure the punishment of the market going through this. It could be a linear grid, but better to have clusters like nodes in there that are staggered to try to camouflage. You know, this is like camouflage is if it's too wallpapery, people see it. So it should look like a clusterfuck of orders. You just keep adding to that one key click. Now, this is when all you need is like 5 insane drops. Now go through and change the time frame of that. One's a 15-minute version, one's a 4-hour version. Makes all the difference in the world to buy 500 pips deep for 1 day than it does to buy 500 pips deep for a 15-minute script. The broker will place those orders for you. It's not like they won't. Not like they refuse that. So that works. And as long as you have enough money in the account. So do the math if you can run a master stop, which I put on this. I put a 50 pip master stop on this drop. So you should only see one red dash. I'm going to double click the monster drop. 2 hours. Just one stop on that. It just happens that stops right by the wick. So if we come back in here, it's just going to buy 3 here just pre-programmed. So you don't have to monkey around. Like if you're really lazy or you can't, I can't seem to drag and drop stuff on, unless I have a trackball. So if I'm on a tablet, I can't seem to grab the fucking scripts and get them to the other side. So just double click, boom, 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 boom. And there's no clicking sound. Yeah, what the fuck's going on there? I'm getting in some goober entries here on the euro dollar 30-minute. Buying pullbacks here. These are the rewrittens, big deep orders, and here's the half-hour view. Everybody on the half-hour. Here's a cute little top bottom. You could have nailed this half-hour entry, but you really have your order blocks. Those are your block of orders right there. Either hand placed or you hit a button. So the week's over. We've only got about 2 hours of stock market left, and that buy that I did on the Canadian dollar worked out. This was buying new psycho lows today in the Canadian dollar when the news came out without regard. This is a 40 pip range right here. 40 pips. Here's gold melting down. Can't you just see gold just falling apart? Look at monthly gold. Even somebody that's doing a channel would say, you know what? I think we're at the top of the channel on gold. $800 an ounce. By when? Right? Look at this. How we come all the way back to the starting gate. 943. Oh my God. Can you only imagine? Here's a channel on Wix. Volatility channel. Gold. The final frontier. What's the candlesticks say? I've got black candlesticks matter here. Black bodies matter. Just get in the dojis on gold. This is when you put your non-directional trade plans on right here. How'd that work out for you? Just go with the flow. You're trading volatility breakout strategies here. Open to close. Here you're getting whiplash. Here you're getting whipsawed. Here's the ultimate entry. How about a doji on the outside of town on new lows? I waited 3 years for that setup. Let's see, I waited 3 years to get in on that trade. So I turned my wife out on the streets to get some extra money so we could add to the account. I told her, listen, I know this seems like I'm asking something of you. Could you do me a favor? And since you're good looking, could you hit the streets and we can, it'd be like just a short-term loan. We'll make it back in the market, I promise. Okay. And the maybe the same thing is true for the trend line on the cash 30-minute. But this looks like it's going to go up again. I mean, this is the trend line to break next week on the half-hour. I guess you could say you broke it already here. Breakout rollover. And you could always make a channel way out in space, give it some room. This is the Dow Jones. Is it going to start walking down a channel? The old drift down. The slow death of 1,000 small moves. I guess you'd have to say. I think it's at fair value right now. I think the party's over. So this is a true auction for the week. We take out the high of the week. We take out the low of the week in very dramatic form. But we kind of finish right in the middle of fair value. If you snug this up to here, if you had drawn off of this almost equal, so this is anything up here is a good sell, anything down here is a good buy. It's just how dense are your orders. I would donate more orders to this price level. See, this is the better price, but you had to wait for it. This price vacuum goes back to here, and then this one, and then the ultimate. We never hit this, though. Just cut into the underside of like the riverbank. It's been hollowed out. That's how I see it. This is the undercuts. So here's your other order bank. And you've captured this wick on just a god load of orders. And you knew when you bought down there that your exit had to be right here. So in 4 hours you made this much in the stock market, and if you held through that and said, well, let's see what happens here. They reject this top bottom. They go cutting back through. But look at how this moves kind of like a nice walk down. This is violent up, violent down. This is when things are getting like, wow, geez, if this is really big distribution. So big giant distribution swings, and then the market kind of goes quiet, and then it's like, uh-oh, and everything just kind of the creaking, it's creaking. Okay, so I guess the euro dollar is just stuck in the water here. Maybe that's this. Everybody went home. It looks like so. Anyways, 67.30. We can get out, go flat here. There's still 3 hours of trading left, so we're 10 pips above the round handle here on euro dollar, and I'm buying pullbacks here for the next 2 hours, and this is the 8 hours. So the more you risk. If you put in a 12-hour, an 8-hour, and a 4-hour, and you just hit all three keys and go to sleep, the sloppier you trade, the wider your orders have to be, and you can get as lazy as you want just by placing the orders really deep and lasting 12 hours, so you don't have to come back to the platform and hit any more buttons. Or you have somebody hit the buttons for you. It's kind of like tell somebody what to do and have them do it, because otherwise if you do it, You're going to say, I don't know. But you have to have, this also would be if you're not a control freak. So if you're a control freak, you're going to do the whole thing yourself, and it's like, get the fuck out of here. But if you want to delegate it, want to hire don't tell anybody what they're doing, right? You don't tell them that they're managing a forex account. You just say, listen, you see this? Don't even have you can have a chart that's literally got nothing on it. You could build that template. Literally, it has nothing on it. It just has a symbol name. And you could just say, well, or you could just have the range, right? You could just have a bar without any closing prices. You just tell, hey, listen, when the bars are inside the bars, hit this button. And then it also launches another. So you write the script, you have them. This is like if you wrote a movie. You write the scripts, but the actors are going to still have to, they're going to fuck it up a little bit, right? So you have to write the script good enough so that no matter who reads it, will understand what you're trying to do. Is it a comedy? Like, so this guy thought I was a spoof, right? Well, there you go. It's like Springtime for Hitler. But the concept of Springtime for Hitler is we didn't know we were going to make money and it was going to be a comedy. So we had to let go of the fact that it was a serious movie. I'm referring to the producers. The producers by that old school comedy team. Gene Wilder, and I think he's in that. And so you're just going with the fact that you're letting it be what it is. You're not going to predict it. It's okay if it doesn't do what you think it's going to do. So, and if you just made a bunch of money off of this one thing, you're like, okay. You got to be organized, I suppose. The bigger you trade, the more organized you'd have to be, right? Because you don't want to have a big warehouse catch on fire. That's always terrible. And ideally, in the beginning, you really risk quite a bit, and then as time goes on, it's inverted. You start to trade just like lower and lower. Well, maybe not lower and lower position size, but not compared. You stay at the same position size, say. Let the account get big. You can't start to, like if you're on snow, you can't punch it to the floor. You've got to get traction, and then, maybe you can get going. But you got to get that out of the gate momentum. When you go to the moon, most of that stuff's on the launching pad. If you get the account to a certain level, then this is the discipline part, is not to go in hog long thinking that you've figured out what's going to happen. Overconfidence or something. That's what they call it. I think it's just that you're trading too big. You see a pattern and you go, well, that's good enough to actually buy right now. So you start getting into the market. You don't wait for the pullbacks. You don't, or you put too many outrageous orders in there and you set them for a day and you're like, man, that's a lot of orders to have exposed for a day. Yeah, because if the market slashes around, which it inevitably will, we don't know if it's going to go up before it goes down or down before it goes up. So we have the scatter shot trap limits. But you also have the fact that, you know what? If you're going to look at the chart every 4 hours and it's down really big in 4 hours, you just buy something. And wait another 4 hours and buy something. And you're getting in based on the swing traders theory. And maybe you do have limit grids down there that are set to some ungodly diversified matrix, so that built into there are worse than break-evens and something to pay for the script. Pay for the drama there, because you don't know. You're not always going to get this perfect entry in a 0 pip zone. Forget 1 pip, why not 0? Like, if you're that good, right, you should be able to nail it. But if you can nail a 20 pip cushion entry with a 10 pip master stop to make 40 pips, you keep dropping that script at the appropriate price areas, right on the edge of the market, where everybody's shitting their pants. And of course, you have to wait for that to play out. And when the market goes sideways too long, you should be able to get a feel for, well, let's put on a hedge then. Let's put on high ratio hedges now. So you're always changing your game plan based on current weather conditions. So some people, they dress for the end of the world in the winter, but then the problem there is if you've got to maneuver and move around in your car, you're like, okay, great. Can't even move. Like bundled up like some fucking 8-year-old that your mom put together. Okay, so here we're waiting for a pullback in and this was the greatest trade of the day. Fucking mind-blowing, right? Buying that wick. Look at the ratio on that bitch. 20 pips to make 20 pips. Almost guaranteed. Just in this whole area here, whole matrix of orders could have been laid there today. This is also progressive. I'm run this next week. This is going to be really hard. Order every 8 hours I could drop it. If I want to just, or if the market's slamming down, I'm dropping it every hour. Because I'm going to build up a whole bank of the same concept. It's different prices, same scenario, and just be, okay, let it plunge, let it plunge. And as I'm getting out of the euro, I'm getting filled on the pound. It's like spinning plates, or it's like about hot potato or musical chairs. So there's a wave going through all the currency pairs, and sometimes they're both going up. You really don't want to make too many judgments about, well, this is the dollar against the yen, because you're not going to see the forest for the trees. You're going to miss the... Here, like I'm going to buy here for 2 hours now. This is the big streamer I just wrote. Call it big streamer. Okay. Party favors. This is... I'm going to buy some more here. This reminds me of when the euro used to melt down on a Friday. And for the people that were looking, the bears are saying, you know what? Maybe this is the shoulder. They start selling it, and the last few hours of the day, it just keeps churning in one direction. People are like, holy shit. So this looks like it could happen today, possibly, where it just keeps churning up. And just keeps going up and up. And I'm underwater, I think, on these. I went short here with a 30 pip stop to make 15. So if this thing comes back underneath, the euro dollar goes up, this guy comes back, and this guy goes up. This looks poised for a rally. If you bought every half hour, you'd be buying here right now at 2 p.m. So stuff's wrapping up. Exchanges are closing now. Top of the hour, we could be up. If we could take out this bottom on the 4 hour, it may be too late. Not enough energy. That was certainly the place to take some profits, though, for this week. Pretty hairy uptrend. Well, the party's over. It's dead in the water. We can't get above this 1.1420, and the pound is up against resistance. So I'm going to close all open and pendings. Let's see how fast the broker is. Everybody left the party. Not going to get any drama. So I'm 67.70. Let's see how much. Close all these out. It might close the pendings before it closes the open positions. Okay, it's totally out of everything. And that's it. Shutting her down.